Hello, I'm Dave, and on this video I'm going to take you through the whole process of drawing Spider-Man. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe right now and click that bell for notifications. So I started out with an oval tilted just slightly. Right under that oval I did a circle almost the same size as that oval shape, and then just over to the right side of that oval I did kind of another circle shape, but I did it really light. You really don't need to do that same line that I did on the top right. That was just for me to kind of figure out where how I was gonna do things here. So anyways, back to the first oval that we did. So I did that, so I kind of darkened the lines around that oval to kind of solidify it. Then just about a little under halfway under that oval I drew a line, and then that was my baseline for the nose. From there you could see I drew the eyes, so I went upward and then around. That for like almost a triangle shape for the eyes. So once I got that, I'm onto the circle, and I'm just drawing a parallel line from the top, on the top of the circle, to the middle to the bottom, but it's slanted. It's not a straight on parallel line. From there I just put a couple of ridges on the top, and now I'm connecting like a line on the dip on that ridge to that middle line there, and then down to the bottom. Now by doing that, this is going to be the hand, Spider-Man's hand. It's going to be kind of a 3D photo. So his hand that's in action, he's about to shoot his web. That's going to be the larger part of this drawing. And then his body's going to shrink or appear smaller as you go further back. That gives you a nice 3D look. Now I'm drawing the extension here. That's his pinky. And just bringing that back around, connecting it to the hand. Now just under the finger, the forefinger right there, that's where I'm putting in the index finger. That's where I'm putting the thumb, just underneath that index finger. So now you see that thumb holding down the two middle fingers that are applying pressure to shoot the web out. Now right above the eye is where I'm putting this line right here, just right above the eye, connected to the head. And then just right at the top of the head I put that other line. This is his arm that's being letting go of the web that's behind him, essentially. And so now another line just in between those two. And now we're going all the way up. This is the wrist. So you're gonna go in just a little bit to that end of the wrist right there, and we're gonna connect it to the hand. So now we bring that out, connect it there. That dark circle in the middle is where the fingers crunch in. It's a fist that he has. So now back to the arm. I'm just putting another line here, and that's where we're gonna see the difference, where the blue starts or ends, and then the red begins when we start coloring this. Same line right there. And these are essentially his chest muscles. Now this is gonna be his leg. I started that right in between the two like the six-pack lines. And now this is his leg. You could if you need to pause it, but you could see kind of where I'm referencing where my starting points, like this is in between that halfway mark of the thumb, where I drew that line where his foot where his leg was going into. About halfway in the middle of that leg I drew a line there. That's going to be a shadow. Just underneath, or just above the thumb, I drew that couple of lines there. One is going to be a light source hitting the bottom of his leg, and then the other is going to be like some dark shadow when we color that in. Now onto the rest of his right arm, Spider-Man's right arm here. I'm just now sketching where you're gonna see some of that muscle. So you're gonna do a lot of round shapes here. And I'm just doing them real light. Another one right there. Once I like where I have them, I kind of darken it up. So going now, this is just above the forefinger. Now I just did that that curved line there, and then on the pinky, I'm doing another line that curves right into that last line that I did. Then a little bit underneath the pinky. Now going back up, I did another curved line connecting to the top there. And now, and just from that underneath that eye point, but to the right side, another line going across. And this line right here that I did, that's gonna be the spot where it's gonna go from blue to red. And then we're connecting with like a quarter circle from the top of the head, or from like the side of the head to the arm. That's his shoulder. Now from that point, I did a line out and then curved that. That's gonna be his other leg, his right leg. And now just inside that curve, that's where his calf is. And just behind the calf, we're connecting the line across to his arm. That's going to be the bottom of his leg. And I just colored that in right there to show where the black part is going to be when I start coloring it in, the darkest part. And then to finish this off, I'm going to draw in his shoe, his foot. And the split between the blue spandex and the red boot. And now with the head, I kind of, when I saw how I did everything, I wanted to just kind of make the head a little bit smaller and sharper. So just going back around it. Once I did that, now it's time to color in. So I'm gonna color in all the spots blue that need to be blue, but you're gonna see that I'm gonna kind of leave some of the outline empty. The reason for that is I may either want to go over that hard outline with a darker blue or with black. So I'm just coloring in the most of the parts that are blue, though I am coloring them in blue. Now I'm using a lighter blue. Make sure when you're doing this, you color most of it in with a lighter blue, and then use your darker blue to get those highlights, the shadows in there. And then I'm gonna use white to get the highlights. So now I'm coloring in red, and I'm leaving some of the lines uncovered because I am gonna use a darker color for those lines. So yeah, same principle for this, for where I'm coloring in red as what I did with the blue. So I'm filling in most of the rest of this space with red. Now his left leg, this is his hand now. His pinky. And the rest of his fingers here, I'm coloring them in, but not all the way. I'm leaving that center part between the index finger and the middle finger with, that's gonna be filled in with black because there's a lot of shadow in there. So now I'm using a dark blue, and that's where I'm going to get in some of those darker shadows. Not completely underneath the leg because I am going to use black for that, but on the muscles, just where you can see a lot of those muscles just kind of shaped That's where I'm using the blue, the darker blue. And did some little bit of retouch there with the lighter blue. Just thinned out some of those dark blue lines so that it looks a little bit more like muscle movement. So now with the black marker, I'm coloring in underneath the leg and filling out some detail. And just kind of figuring out where I want to go with this. So now underneath the head, I'm outlining it and then coloring in the rest of that space, and then I'm going to do a lot of outline here. A lot of outline where where you see the pencil lines, that's where I'm doing a lot of outline. And then also the eyes. So covering the eyes up. And just kind of going all over with some outline. Now the inside between the middle finger and the index finger, I'm using a lot of black there, but I didn't cover that up completely because I'm going to use a darker brown, like a reddish brown color, because I want more shadow, more transition between that bright, vibrant red and black. Yeah, and then here I decided to add in the left foot. Before I was kind of picturing the left foot tucked in behind the hand, but sometimes I don't want to leave that to the imagination, because in some ways it does kind of look like it's missing, so I just added that in there. Now outlining the hand and that arm that's going backwards. Outlining the head and the muscles on that hand on the right arm that's going forward. So all those spots I didn't fill in, I'm filling in now with the black. And coloring in the shadow, the darkest part of that under part of that right leg. Outlining the right leg and coloring in all the rest right there with some black shadow. And finish the outline of the foot. So now I'm using a darker, it's like a reddish brown color, and that's my transition where I get some shadows in the red, but it's not black, so it gives it like that medium tone. You can see I'm touching up just some parts of the hand. And the leg. Wherever I see the black like outline, or like some of that black muscle, like that black outline on the muscle, I kind of line that dark brown next to it, so that that transition between the red and the black is a smoother transition, and it just looks better overall. Especially in this arm right here that's extended out. A little bit underneath the pinky. And on the right leg. So now that I got that done, I'm putting in some highlights here. Just on the fingers and a little bit on the head. I put some on the head and I wanted to smear that. I didn't want it like very bright. Same for those. It was still a little wet, so I just used my finger to wipe off some of it. But then I continue to outline or get those highlights in the leg and the knees. So a little bit of highlights throughout. And now we're almost done. I just went back with a little touch up on the red, but now it's time to outline the rest with well, a little bit more brown here, but then I am going to do the final outline with the black, and that's where you're going to see all those lines that are on his suit. So here it is, very lightly. I'm not doing it extremely dark because especially this since we are since it's like a 3D, like he's moving, like his hand is closer to you than the rest of his body, I don't want the rest of it real dark, so I just did it kind of light. And you don't have to do like those ridges, like the U-shaped lines on there. It's like when he's that far back, you could do kind of just like straight line down with a straight line across. Maybe when you think it's like a little clearer, you could kind of do those like almost U-shaped lines, but otherwise they could just be crosses. On the face though, it's a little different. You start at the center and then kind of curve it out or curve it in, just depending on what side you're on. I had to retouch just a little bit there. I curved it out a little too much, but you know, it's fine once you do that. So on the shoulder, you could see I just did that cross sign and that cross, but on the face, I am doing those U-shape or like upside down U-shape, just that movement all the way across. So you could see. There you go. So it's that webbing that you see. I'm doing the same for his right arm and then his right leg. Just some lines across and then straight down. On the fingers, I'm not doing the cross though. I'm just going one way across and that's it. Right around the knuckle, I switch the direction. And then the pinky. And here we go, Spider-Man. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.